Morning, Pete Deleters. Long time between chats. My last video was in January, and I talked then of my year beyond fear, living without fear. And I stopped at that point because I thought it was time to stop talking about it and actually do something. I'm talking to more and more people that are in the same place. They see so much wrong in the world, and they don't know what to do about it. And they're sick of just talking about it. And so anyway, I'm in a place called Lonely Bay. It's my new favourite place. I found a little cave, my little cave where I slept last night, and it's sheltered from the prevailing winds. It's a beautiful little spot, and I'm going to be sleeping here quite a bit. I think I've found plenty of places I can sleep. Friends have offered me homes. I've got a little place around the corner I use, but I still prefer living in nature. So, but I'll move on a bit. A friend of mine told me that the optimum time for a video is 3 minutes to keep people's attention. This isn't going to be one of those videos, I assure you. If your life's been reduced for 3-minute videos looking for some meaning, well, perhaps this isn't the video for you, or maybe it is. My life was down to that pretty much. My life had been shut down to such a point that I was just locked away in my room and lost all hope. But long journey, and we'll talk about that more. But I'm on the other side of that now. I'll just show you what I can see. I'll just spin it around with my highly technical cinematography skills, and that's the sort of view I'm getting in the mornings. Beautiful place. The beach is full of shells, which I use in my art, and driftwood. Because yeah, I'm a full-time poet and artist now, and throughout history, I think the artist's role has been to be outside of the mainstream and to reflect back to society a different perspective. And that's definitely my position now. I was in the machine, and I knew it was insane, and now I'm out of it. I see more and more, so I will be using this video and my art to reflect back what I see. If I'd have been looking out at this view 250 years ago, I would have seen Captain Cook's ship Endeavour anchored just here, and he didn't discover New Zealand, but he certainly played a big part in the New Zealand I live in now, you know. So in 250 years, the place I'm staying now is deforestation is pretty much complete. Imposed religions came, the spirituality stripped from this country, negative schooling, rampant materialism. It's so obvious here now. Just a beach just across here used to be little batches where people would come for cheap family holidays. It's now the whole beach pretty much is multi-million-dollar chrome and glass, empty most of the year, and I'm seeing that as a very distinct pattern wherever I go in the world. And as opposed to my cave here, you know, I've got friends with those houses, and I'm welcome there, and I do go. I'm not opposed to that, but give me a cave any day. So I'm going to be talking more of my journey, and those of you who've been following me know that I've been through the mental illness program, the belief system that I was mentally ill, and went as far down that road as you can go and survive. And in that journey I come across a gentleman, not personally, but in literature, named Emanuel Swedenborg. And he was philosopher to the Swedish court about the time Captain Cook arrived here. And he was a very learned gentleman. He travelled the earth in all the very privileged upbringing, and he philosopher and poet, amazing guy. And then he had a complete awakening, spiritual awakening, followed by then what was called a spiritual crisis, because everything he'd been learning about the world, everything he'd been taught about the world, didn't make any sense, of course. When you see it from a spiritual perspective, the true perspective of this world, what we're taught in schools and in society just doesn't make any sense. And that's the journey I've been on. And if reading about him now, they call that spiritual crisis a period of mental illness. Well, it's two very different things. One is what actually happens when your mind is in turmoil. It's a conflict between what we know in our hearts and what we're taught in our minds. That's a spiritual crisis. They now call it mental illness and have medications for it, of course, the pharmaceutical model. So what? Anyways, it clarified for me the journey I've been on. You know, when I lived alone in nature and unravelled my mind, I saw clearly my journey into insanity through the negative schoolings, the religion, living and conforming to the machine. So now I don't do that. And now I'm full-time artist and poet, as I said, and I'm being invited to schools around the world to teach divinity, basically. And what is that? Well, it is what it is. We are divine, we are spirit, we have infinite potential. And I use a lot of recycled materials in my art, in fact almost exclusively, to show the waste on Earth, and the biggest waste of all is the waste of human potential. Every soul that is born to Earth has infinite potential, and rarely, if ever, is that attained, is that achieved, because of everything I mentioned. So I go into schools now and just remind them how amazing they are, how amazing the children are, what infinite gifts they have, how perfect they are, every single one. But again, they're not taught that, they don't believe that. Everything they see in the world tells them they're not that. And New Zealand leads the world in youth suicide, and this is a major factor in that. We in our heart we know our potential, we know our reason for living. In our minds we're told we're not perfect. My journey was left-handed, dyslexic, Catholic, add that into it, a perfect storm. But anyway, so I'm going to carry on with my day now. I've waffled enough, but this video really is a plea for help. As you can see, my needs are few, but I have been invited to Nepal, Mexico, England, Germany many times. My art isn't for the masses, so there's not a great income stream for that. So I'm in need of finance, and if you're in a position to help with that, there is a link on my website, I believe, to help me on my journey and to live to my potential, and in doing that, help others. Firstly, to see that is possible in this day and age, and in a balanced way. You know, I was bipolar, was my label. The ups and downs were massive, and it caused devastation. I still have ups and downs. Today's a down day for me. I was up after sunrise, and that's unusual for me. I'm normally up and about, but I'm going to be swimming, go for my daily swim, have a run, off to my studio. So if you can help me in any way, please do. Finance is the best way, because at the moment airlines don't take barter. I do a lot of that in my life, but yeah, so I'll stop waffling. I will be doing these videos more regular, and hopefully you'll share this and it will help you on your journey, and hopefully can help others. Some amazing people have helped me on my journey, and without them I wouldn't be here. So you have a good day, and we will talk soon, I promise you. Bye.